Just a quick one, guys. We've released our January merch drop, so do browse the new collection. We've got the Mr. Blue Nose tees, along with our Stauncho Meter tees. Do, as I said, browse the collection by going down into the link in the description, or going to rfcclothing.com. Anyway, let's get into today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Guys, in today's video we actually have got quite a lot of stuff to discuss with regards to Rangers. Of course, playing the second friendly tonight against Copenhagen. Going to be an interesting game, of course, in preparations, ready to go for the second part of the season, obviously starting against Dumbarton. We've got a bit of transfer news as there has been an official bid made. We're also going to be going over, of course, Celtic and Rangers apparently and reportedly being in talks over the away allocation and trying to mend that. So yeah, quite a few bits and pieces to go over in today's video. But first and foremost, let's start with the game today. Yes, Rangers back in action against Copenhagen, a nighttime kickoff. Of course, Copenhagen, a side that's doing very, very well in Europe so far this season. Of course, a Danish Super League side. Always win the league there, to be perfectly honest, or pretty much win the league there all the time. And you probably heard about them this season, making headlines as they did advance into the last 16 of the Champions League. Sides like Manchester United's expense and sort of Galatasaray's expense as well. So they were in a tough group, and a really, really good side so far this season, and a really good test for us, ready to go for the second half of the campaign. Of course, the game against Hertha was a bit different. Obviously, we played that sort of friendly leggy. We lost obviously 1-0. However, it was sort of mixed lineups. First half there was a mix of youth and first teamers. Second half the same again, and as I stated, Philippe Clement basically did say that he tired out the players, had them already leggy, so you can't really take much into the actual game itself. It was more probably a fitness test. With regards to this, if it's going to be more of a lineup that we're going to start to see, more of a first team lineup that we're going to see, that remains to be seen. However, it's still a nice little game, and as I said, during this sort of period there's a lack of Rangers games on, so here to get behind it for sure, 100%. Now, as I stated, one of the main headlines today, guys, is that Rangers and Celtic are reportedly back in talks over trying to sort out the away allocation. Now, this has been a long-standing feud, and from a Rangers perspective, I do believe it was Rangers' fault initially. Obviously, we did take away their sort of right to have the whole stand and then sort of narrowed it down to sort of 800, like all the other sort of Scottish Premiership sides would do. However, then Celtic did take it to another level, took it to another extreme, as then they sort of removed fans from attending the games, and it's just kind of been a bit of a really frustrating thing really between them. As I stated, I know some fans don't want to go back to the days of old, but having no away fans in attendance is slightly disgraceful, and if we want to call ourselves the best derby in the world, which I do believe it is, then we can't absolutely not be having no away fans in attendance. But as I stated, headlines are today from the Times that the two Glasgow sides have opened negotiations to allow each other's supporters into the respective stadiums for the final two Premiership games between the sides this season. It is said being discussed and underway about Celtic being allocated 750 tickets for their next trip to Ibrox, which will take place on Saturday, April 6th. Likewise, when Rangers make their short journey across the city to Parkhead in the post-split fixtures, they will too have the same amount of tickets if talks progress positively. It is the two derby fixtures involving the clubs this season. Both Ibrox and Celtic Park have been filled entirely by home supporters, with a section of the stadium which usually houses away fans made available to their own. The issue has been, as I stated, rumbling on for years now, since 2018 to be precise. However, there were no away supporters for the final two league matches of last season either. The SPFL is believed to encourage the arch rivals to reach an agreement over the matter, with a wider view that the standoff is tarnishing the spectacle of the Power Keg fixture. So that's pretty good news to hear, as I stated. I know some fans actually do like having the whole home stadium to our supporters and our supporters only, but it does take away the spectacle. It does take away from the spectacle, and my actual hope is to go even further than that, then bring in the 800. Yeah, it's a good start, having some away fans in attendance, but here's hoping, it's the days of old, back in the noughties, how I grew up watching the derby, whereas the full stand, and there was loads of supporters in there. It just made the derby even more crazy. You just have to look at the sort of, when we meet Celtic at sort of Hampden in the semi-finals and the finals, that's what a 50-50 split. It just makes the derby so more exciting. So good news that, of course, that they're starting to speak again. they're sorting it out. So hopefully, that we will see away fans in attendance in the next 2 derby matches of the campaign. Now, with regards to transfer news, guys, as I stated, we're 16th of January. We're 16 days in to the January transfer window. Rangers have made 1 addition so far this transfer window, that being Fabio Silva. Since then, it's been utter silence. And again, it's frustrating at this moment in time because that Dumbarton game is getting closer, and we were sort of promised, and it's been well sort of reported, even Philippe Clement stating the obvious, that we will be having a busy January transfer window. But the sort of links that we are having to players at this moment in time, I mean, there's nothing that concrete with regards to the incomings. We've been linked to everybody. Still at this moment in time, there is actually nothing to report on to you with regards to incomings. However, outgoings. Ridvan Yilmaz saga has been ongoing for a long time. Look, Sky Sports reported that the Hellas Verona deal was done. However, there looks like there has been problems with the Josh Doig situation. There's a knock-on effect. So, of course, it did seem as though Josh Doig was going to be going to Olympique Marseille. And as of Fabrizio Romano, that still hasn't been sorted at this moment in time, and Josh Doig is still at Verona despite Marseille wanting the player and despite Josh Doig wanting to go to France. However, as I said, nothing on that movement at this moment in time. It is important because it has a knock-on effect with regards to the transfer of Ridvan Yilmaz. Once Josh Doig goes out the door, they get some money, then they're going to have the money to bring in Ridvan Yilmaz. However, there is another twist to this tale, as Rangers have knocked back an official loan to buy from Galatasaray. Of course, did represent Besiktas. That's the club he played for, Ridvan Yilmaz. However, Sky Sports reports that they have had a bid rejected from Rangers for Ridvan Yilmaz. Galatasaray, a side that are coming in with a loan till the end of the season, then come the end of that loan contract to then buy the player. Interesting saga at this moment in time. It was rejected though, and an official bid was made, but very, very confusing at this moment in time when it comes to Ridvan Yilmaz. We keep being linked to left backs. We're in the market for a left back. We've never been pursuing Josh Doig. However, we did make an official approach for Owen Beck, but that was rejected immediately from Liverpool. So there is something fishy going on with regards to the left back position at this moment in time. Ridvan Yilmaz is definitely of interest of Verona, but if they were offering more money than was said, well, Galatasaray was offering more money for Ridvan Yilmaz, why are we not going with that option? Why are we staying true to towards Hellas Verona? Anyway, it's so confusing at this moment in time. Reports still stating that we're going to be going in for a left back, and reports still stating that Ridvan Yilmaz will be leaving the football club at some point this January transfer window. Whether it happens, who knows, because this January transfer window has been so hard to predict and nobody really knows anything. Sky Sports contradicting Fabrizio Romano contradicting other sources. It's all a bit of a mess at this moment in time, but I think this could go right to the wire, right to the final day, and a lot of our business, reminiscent of 2022, we'll probably do a couple of deadline day transfers like we did with Amad Diallo and Aaron Ramsey. But let's wait and see what happens. But that does bring us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember, guys, we do have Rangers t-shirts available on our website, so do browse the collection by going down into the link in the description or go to rfcclothing.com. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Poosh.